Hi, my name is Grey Tiger, and welcome to another Medallion of Chaqua modding stream. I realise it's been quite some time since I did the last one. I think it's a little bit over 3 months. But I've found that I've kind of been drifting to and from the game a little bit these past few months. I was drawn away by the 1.0 release of Satisfactory, which kept me occupied for quite some time. And then I had one or two other things which kind of prevented me from working on the mod. But the last week I've started up again, and I thought I'd just pronounce to the world that I'm still alive, still working on the bloody thing, and perhaps give anybody who's interested some inkling or intonation of where I'm at. So earlier today I was working on, let me just change that scene. Earlier today I was working on the mechanism that allows the AI to add tablets to the custom spawning pools. And I realized that though I have the ability to show what faction owns what tablet, as can be seen. Sorry, one moment. I just realised my cursor is not showing up for some reason. Oh no, there it is. As can be seen by just where this plus icon is, that gets replaced by the icon of the faction who owns that tablet. Well, I realised that while I have those little icons for the 7 different tablets, I don't have anything that indicates who as a whole owns that spawning pool when all of the tablet slots are filled. So today I'm going back and I'm creating a little bit of UI for that, which I will add into the XML template for the screen, and then hopefully get that running in code. Hopefully it won't take too long. Excuse me. Now I do apologise if you can hear that noise in the background. That's my neighbour's just, wouldn't you know, decided that it's time to cut his garden. I wouldn't have thought the grass was dry enough to do so, but he's doing it anyway. So hopefully it's not too bad for anybody that tunes in. So as I said, going to be working on the icon today. If anybody has any questions or anything as you come in, please do not hesitate to ask them. Any suggestions as well, I shall take them on board. But right now, let's get into working on this new part of the UI. So what I'm trying to do on this screen, as you can see, this screen here is actually how I built the UI up. So what I have is, in Photoshop I'll have the background, and then I put all of the different elements in place, and I measure out where they are in the X and Y coordinates, and then add them into the XML document which dictates how the game loads the screen. So what I'm trying to do here is balance out the new icon which I'm going to be working on, which is, as you can see, very similar to the one on the far right. I'm trying to balance that out with the one on the right, so it'll go on the far left here and slot in the same sort of position to keep things balanced, and to be an easy indicator for the player to go, right, I can see who owns that spawning pool, and it's not me, as the case might be. Alright, so I'm going to want the faction icons in there, and that one is not large enough. So I'm going to have to open up a window. Okay. I want to go into the Warhammer 2 factions. They're part of UI flags. And now I need the ones for all of the lizardmen, which means I need the complete list of bloody lizardmen factions. Okay, shouldn't be too difficult to find them. So we're looking for anything with LZD there. I want to include those. Oh my lord, that's really annoying, that noise in the background. Would have to happen now, wouldn't it? It's been quiet all morning, and then suddenly, hello Bashir, and then suddenly he decides to do some work in the garden. I mean, it's not exactly a sunny day, so I don't know how the grass is dried. Because living where I do, I get an awful lot of rain. Yesterday was the first time I saw the sky without any clouds in for a week. So it was nice to actually be able to get out and not get wet. The day's a bit overcast, so it's threatening to rain. Here we go. This is one of the factions we want. So let's have a look and see which one of these icons is probably the best size for us. I'm just going to take some water, excuse me. I hope the sound is okay on this. I've been having some difficulties getting the sound to boost any higher. I honestly don't know what the issue is. My PC suffered my PC died recently, but it wasn't the hardware, it was the software. Windows just shat itself for some reason, and I had to do a reinstall in place. And I tried to save as many files as I could, but unfortunately I lost some of the files around some of my software like OBS. I still haven't got everything quite to how it was, so I'm not certain if the microphone is picking up enough. But we shall see. We shall see. Okay, right, so we've got this icon for the First Avengers. No, sorry, First Avengers. What's the name of the faction? Oh, it doesn't tell me. Of course it doesn't tell me. Hello, Lita. Oh, it's just Avengers. Okay. So we've got this icon for Avengers. And let's drag that in. Just place it over the top. Alright, so what we want to do is, actually just hide that for a moment, we need to get this outline because we're going to want that to fill in this section. But we don't want to get rid of that outline. So let's get a duplicate of this, because we're going to need a version to hold an empty value. So let's save this one off as empty. So let's go spawning pool owning factions, and that's a PNG file. I'm noticing a bit of delay on the stream. Damn, it's been so long since I've done this, I can't remember where the setting is to change the delay. How can I change that setting delay? Let me just quickly go into the settings if I can. There has to be something. What is it, Litapus? Live chat, blah 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 blah. Ah, there we go. Oh no, sorry, that's chat participation. Nope, okay. I cannot see a delay thing. It has to be on stream settings. No, nothing there. Okay, I don't want to be messing around with that too much. Maybe it's in OBS. Settings. Stream. No. Maybe it's something I have to do when it's not actually running. Okay, what was I doing? I so easily get distracted. That's my problem. That's right, I was saving this file off as the default. And I'm also trying to deal with a cat who's pulling at my arm. What is it, leader? What do you want? What do you want? She just wants attention. Excuse me. Spawning pool owning faction. Well, let's just call it. Nope, that's not good. Faction owner none. There we go. Nice and simple, and that's done. Okay, so now we want to cut out the middle of that. So let's see how steady my hand is. Actually, no, that's not selecting the right one. Let's see how steady my hand is and try and cut this out. That's kind of iffy. It's getting with smeg. Alright, let's try that again. There we go. And we got it. That's better. I'm gonna get cut halfway across. Alright, I'm happy with that. That's a good start. Okay. Let's just say that. Yes, leader, what is it? Oh, if you want me to pat you, you can't stand that far away. I can't lean over that far. Come here. Thank you. Ah, yes. The gardening has stopped. Peace and quiet. Alright. That's not too bad. That's not too bad. And that'll do, I think. Yeah, that's not too bad at all. Okay. We'll save that off. I'm not really going to worry about shaving off any of that at the moment. Let's put that icon behind it so we get an idea for how this is going to look. Alright, so it's too large at the moment, so we're going to have to reduce that. Let's scale that down to about 80%. Let's see what that gives us. Okay, 80%. The icon's still a little bit too big, but now you can see that the grey is encroaching on the inside, which we don't want. We just want to keep the background color of the icon, not that grey in place. Hello, Fernie Respi. How are you today, or this evening, or whatever time it may be? What's the Medallion of Chaqua? That's a very good question. I don't know if you're familiar with any of the mods I did for Warhammer 2, but one of them was called the Medallion of Chaqua, and it was a very basic mod. It was the first one I ever did. Let me see if I can find an image of it. I'll probably want to go to a new folder. It's going to be on the backup drive. Actually, no, where is it? Actually, no, it's not on this drive anymore. It's on my other computer, which I'm not connected to, so I cannot look at what that is. I can, however, bring up Steam. No, I can't look at Steam either. Okay, well, in that case, let's forget about the Warhammer 2 version. Okay, what is the Medallion of Chaqua in Warhammer 3? The Medallion of Chaqua is a new mod for the Lizardmen, where all the Lizardmen factions except for Oxyodl, because he's got his own mechanics already, where all the Lizardmen factions will get access to this hunt for different fragments of a medallion which was lost in the time of the Old Ones. Now, I do have an image of the medallion here, because of course I'm working on that at the moment. Not that one, not that one, not that one either. So an image of the medallion screen. I'll be running Warhammer in a little while once I've got this icon done, so you can see it in game. It's in progress. Lizardman and medallion, and then I want the medallion screen background with map. Nope, not that one. Medallion screen background. No, not that one. Okay, not the best place to get it. I have to go somewhere else. Till Dynasties, version 1. UI, skins, culture, Lizardmen, backgrounds. And it's opened in the wrong window. Let's pull it across. No, I do not want to download that, thank you. Yeah, we'll give it a go, wait. Okay, so this screen is the Medallion of Chaqua. And this is made up of 16 different fragments. So the fragments are dotted around the lands of Lustria and near wherever your faction starts. The first 8 are near your faction, and then the second 8, which are the outer rim, are dotted all around the map. And as you collect them, you gain bonuses. Once you've collected all 8 of the inner ones and added a thing called a geomantic gem, you gain access to a transport that lets you teleport to other places in the world to get the remaining tablets. That's basically the Medallion of Chaqua. But alongside the medallion comes a new custom spawning pool screen, which is what I'm working on today. And that custom spawning pool screen allows the player and the AI to place tablets, and you can see the tablets are all by here. So when the player or the AI fights a battle, they randomly get one of these tablets. Some of the AI factions are really lazy and don't fight any battles, so I'm gifting them tablets. But they will then randomly select one of the spawning pools, of which there are 7. They'll randomly select spawning pool and try and put one of their tablets into one of the free slots on the spawning pool. And whoever ends up with the most slots on the spawning pool owns that spawning pool and gets the units that are spawned by it. Hopefully that all made sense. So today I realized that I need to update the UI because I didn't have an icon that shows the player what faction actually owns the spawning pool. So I need to work on the icon for that and figure out the best way of incorporating that. I just thought, since it had been a while since I'd streamed and let anybody know that I was still working on this, that I would just do a small stream today. Hope I answered the question. Right, so what was I doing? Oh, that's right. So 80% is not quite the right size. I want the icon smaller. I want the icon probably about... No, it's hard to say actually. Let's cancel that resize. Nope, sorry. Don't apply is the right one to say. Let's view it at its actual size and then try resizing it, because I'll get a better idea then of how it's actually going to look on screen. So edit and transform and scale. Just looking at that, actually, I'm almost get away with that size as it is. I think maybe 95% or 90% might work. Okay, that's at 90%. I think that kind of works. I can't see any of the grey encroaching on the inside of the boundary. The icon fits, barely, but it fits. I think 90% is good for that one. I might just have a look at some other icons for some of the other races. Sorry, not races. Lizardman factions, and see how they appear. So let's go to the factions. That's not the right one. Let's go to this. There we go. I do apologise for the delay. I think I'm out of sync with the actual footage. I don't know. Defenders of the Great Plan. Do they get tablets? Let's have a look at the code. Then it'll tell me. Spawn pool manager. Let's have a look at the valid. Is that one of it? Nope. Where is the list of valid Lizardman factions? There we go. Alright, so these are the lizards. This is the list of supported factions. And the Defenders of the Great Plan don't get it. That's right, because that is the faction that is subordinate to Nakai. And Nakai is the one that gets the tablets. Okay. So we don't want theirs. Spirits of the Jungle we do. So let's drag that over. It's kind of annoying how that image keeps changing. I might might take this window out of there so that it's not flickering all the time. I'll just drag them into. It's another faction. I don't think they're currently on the map because when my code comes across them, it doesn't think they're a faction, but they were in the game at one point. I know that. I mean, why else would the icon be here? So I'm going to include them in the artwork, and they're included in the code. Just commented out, just in case they get added back in the future. Which, if we ever see a full expansion of Ind and Koresh, they hopefully will be, because somebody has to go in that area. And I'd be very disappointed if Creative Assembly didn't fill out that section of the map. I mean, in this, what is it, Omens of Destruction, they gave us a new section. Very small new section, but it's something. So, you know, maybe they're just going to tease us little bits here and there. We shall see. But, you know, it would be a hell of a waste if those two sections of the map, which are just completely jungle now, were never filled in. I know that, was it Chaos Robbie did the mod for it? But, you know, it's well within CA's power to fix that up. So I want to see them do so. Yeah. Alright. Hello, Sin. I hope I don't butcher this. Sinister T. Sorry. Sinner T. Hi, I'm a modder and I'm creating. Hello, Narbon. Can I help you? Oh, sorry, didn't mean to get you there. Hi, I'm a modder and I'm creating. Oh, a Fishman faction. Fishmen, they don't exist. Well, they do. Isn't that the meme? They don't exist. I don't know how to do UI work, and I was wondering if you can transfer some vanilla mechanic from my faction. My mod still takes long to complete. Some vanilla mechanic. I don't ever use vanilla mechanics, so to be completely honest, I don't know how the vanilla mechanics work. I've never dug into the code. I've never tried duplicating one of them. I always create everything from scratch. However, if your mod is not going to be done for a long time, and you've got some ideas for a mechanic, you're more than welcome to run them by me. And if I'm not working on something at the time, I could even help you out with some UI work, and maybe some back-end lure on it. Depends how complicated it is. I mean, if it's a really complicated mechanic that you're coming up with, then that would take a lot of time. But if it's something pretty straightforward that you've got in mind, we could always talk about that. All right, let's grab a few more icons for some more factions. What is the next Lizardman faction? I'm not seeing any. I don't want to miss any. That's the problem. Who we got? There we go. Hexawaddle. You can't miss Mazdamundi. You have to put Mazdamundi in that. Okay, so that's his faction icon. Who else have we got? Good. Itza. So that's Gorok. Is that Gorok? Yeah, that's Gorok. Let's just move this across so we've got some room. Let's see who's next. The last defenders. That'll be Krokgar. The rebels don't take part in the chase for the spawning pools, so we'll leave them out. Then we've got Zeti, one of the minor factions who usually end up dying pretty quickly. Thanks, mate. I will message you on Discord. Okay, yeah, no worries. That reminds me, I need to reinstall Discord after my computer died. I haven't put it back on yet. But my account should still be there. Be interesting to hear what sort of ideas you have for a fisherman mechanic. Because I don't really know much about the lore of the fishermen, to be honest. I just know that they were kind of a meme about whether or not they truly existed in the game. But yeah, it could be really fascinating faction. Right, let's see who's next. Southern Sentinels. Let's see. Who's that? That's a minor faction. They're at the bottom of Lustria. I think Skrulk kills them pretty quickly. I'm not even sure who that is. Teotihuacan. I can't even tell you where they are on the map. No, pardon me. Here we have Talakwa, so that's tic-tac-toe, if I'm not mistaken. And we've got another one. And this is Talax Talan, so that's just north of Chaqua. I think it's right next to Skulltaker now. So they probably won't last very long. They might get to put one tablet in a socket and that'll be it. Because I don't think they're going to end up killing Skulltaker. I mean, a lot of these factions do die off rather quickly. But I have to add I'm adding the icons in because, there are mods out there that let you play as any faction. So I want to be able to see if my mod can handle that. This is Zlanhupek. Okay. Can't say I remember where they are either. Then we've got another one, another of the minor factions, Zlatan. I think they're in the Southlands. And then that's it. But there should be some DLC ones. Because I don't think we've seen Nakai's faction yet, have we? Oh, no, Nakai's is there. Oxyodals is there, Mazdamundi is there, Krokgar is there, Gorok is there, and Tic-Tac-Toe is there. So I think we've got 7. 1, 3, 4, 5, hang on, I think I miscounted then. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm missing the Cult of Sotek, which of course came in a DLC, so I have to find that one. It'll be in a different section of the files. That's Kislev. No, I'm in the Warhammer 3 files now. It can't be in among those. Must have gone past it earlier. So it's going to be Warhammer 2 DLC. It was one of the earlier DLCs, if I remember rightly. I think it was just after the Vampire Counts. Or was it just... There we go. Lizardmen, Cult of Sotek. Yep, there we go. So that's the last of them. That's all the Lizardmen factions that participate. And of course the 7 big ones. Alright, so the Avengers icon looks okay in there. Is that the actual size? Am I viewing the actual size? Actual pixels, yes, okay. So the Avengers icon is in there. Let's throw in the icon for... who the hell was this again? Oh, alright, I don't know. For this Lizardman faction. Let's have a look. I think I put the other one at 90% once I had it centered. Transform and scale. Let's put him to 90%. Yeah, and apply that change. Now we'll look very closely at the screen. And maybe even get out my magnifying glass. Where the hell have I put it? There we go. When I'm doing this UI work, I always keep my magnifying glass handy so I can get a really close look at how the icon's going to look at its natural size, rather than zooming in all the time. Because sometimes the zoom can be deceiving and the icon doesn't look very good. It looks okay when you zoom in, but when you put it back to its normal size, it looks like shit. So I find the magnifying glass handy in that way. I think I just need to tap him down one. Yeah, it's not too bad. I just need to trim the outer edges of him, which is going to be easy enough to do. We just need to select. We just need to go to this screen. Select the outside. Could not complete your request because we're Oh, don't you dare crash on me! Don't you dare crash! It's locking up. It's going to die. Can I save it? No, it's crashing on me. No, no. Why? Why? I'll tell you, Adobe 7 is so cantankerous when it comes to trying to select things. I'm going to have to close it down and reopen all of those bloody things again. And I don't know if I can I get any save done? Can I do a save as? No. Can I change that? No, I'm going to have to kill it. I'm going to have to kill it. Oh, yes, save changes. No. No, it's playing with me now. And now it's locking up. Oh, back to chat. Sin. I'm sorry, I'm just going to call you Sin because I struggle to pronounce the whole thing. Can't traverse land as much fun. Oh, sorry. Can't traverse land as much for turn times. Multiple turn times. Oh, you mean the fishermen? Oh, okay. Can't traverse land for. Okay, so they have to try and stay moist, as it were. So is it kind of similar to what Rapance has, where she can only stay in the desert for a certain amount of time? That sort of thing? Except it's all land for them? Now my PC's going crazy. I'm gonna have to kill... I'm gonna have to be vicious and kill Adobe because it's locked up. There we go. The perils of UI modding. Alright, let's do that again. And this time I'll do it one faction at a time. Alright, I need to open up the PDF. Oh, sorry, not PDF. What am I on about? The PNG file. What did I call that? Was it that one? Spawning pool owning. Yep, that's the one. Okay, alright. Alright, so let's go with this one underneath that. So this is Lizard Avengers. Let's just type in who it is so I know now. Don't need that anymore. I can get rid of that layer. So the issue is that this is too big because I can see it on the edges. Alright, let's zoom in and let's try and use the eraser to get rid of those extra edges. Because the selection tool might throw another hissy fit. Alright, let's just save it. Yeah, okay, cool. Need my water. Okay, let's erase. Size 9, I think. That's the wrong one. I want to select that one. Let's go along, get rid of that. Like so. Hello, Bashir. Just have one of my cats come in to say hello. What's up, sweet girl? Oh, hang on, I don't have to be that careful. It's behind the border, so I can be a little bit more carefree with my erasing. I was trying to take it right up to the edge, and I don't need to. Alright, so it looks to me like that icon might still be a little bit too large, but let's just have a look at its actual view. Yeah, it's maybe still a little bit too large at the actual... But you can get the idea of who that is. So leave that as is, and I'll just try some other ones, and we'll see how they go. So like I said, this time I'll do it one at a time, so that the... Hopefully Photoshop doesn't throw a hissy fit again. Alright, so this is the Cult of Sotek, so let's call this Lizard Sotek. And we want to get rid of the one behind. And once again, let's zoom in. Now he's definitely too big, so we're going to have to do a little bit of transforming on him. Let's get his scale down. Let's try 90. I think that might be okay once we center him. Yeah, I'd say that fits okay. Let's get rid of the edges. Like so. Okay. I can see that this bottom part's a little bit grey, but I think that'll be okay when it's at its normal size. Yeah, no, you can make out the difference. So let's just update that color. I'm getting paranoid now, so I'm saving every couple of moments. Let's get the color from there. Let's go for a 3 size brush. That'll do. It's a small thing, but small things can matter. Alright, so let's view the actual pixels. Nope. Come on. Oh, is it throwing a hissy fit again? Okay, I guess I did not have it selected. Alright, looking at that, how does that look? I'd say that looks quite nice. Let's save that one off and see how it goes on screen. So we'll save this as it's a spawning pool owning faction, and we need to save it as a PNG. And this will be the Cult of Sotek. So it's faction owner. Oops. Cult of Sotek. And then we'll also do the other one as well. So that's, I think I might just resize this one a smidge. Oh, no, I don't have anything selected. Edit, transform and scale. Just gonna bring this down just a few pixels. There we go. And then maybe center it one. There we go, I think that's better. And then we'll save this one off. So once again, we're in here. Change it to PNG. And this one is, they're just the just Avengers. Okay. Alright, we've got two icons, so let's have a look how they look on the actual background for all the spawning pools. So, where's the spawning pool screen? Is it that one? Yep, that's the one. Do I cover that completely? Let's just put that down here. Okay, and then let's take one of those we just created. Where did I save that? Spawning pool owning factions. Right, let's take this and take this and check out chat. Oh, Hellforger, hello, how are you? Oh snap, you're back. Yes, I'm back once again after a long hiatus. Satisfactory took more of my attention than I thought it would. So I've kind of come back in the last 2 weeks, really. I hadn't done much work in it since before because of Satisfactory. It's amazing how much that just takes up your free time. It's like, it's inexplicable. Is the sound too low for everyone else, or is it me on your end? Oh, it might be for everybody. I mentioned at the start of the stream I'm having issues with my computer. It crapped itself last week, and I had to do a reinstall in place. And I haven't quite got all the settings working properly. So, I don't know. I mean, when I look at OBS, it's picking up the volume okay, but it's never reaching, the top of the bar. And I've looked at my settings for the volume, and I can't seem to increase it any higher. I mean, the best I can do probably is bring the microphone closer. Let's see, is that closer? That's better. Is that any louder, Hellforger? I'll try to remember to lean into the microphone, ASMR style, as I'm talking. So, hey. Yeah, I mean, you warned everyone about Satisfactory, so I guess everyone was patiently waiting for you. I did warn everybody, because I thought I would be playing a while. I just did not realize it was going to be as long as it was. I mean, I haven't actually finished it. I'm currently working on the last factory part. I've got the automation done. It's just ticking away, making the things. So the only thing left for me to do in the game at this point is Fixmas. I'm just holding off until the next data cartridge is available for Fixmas. So in the meantime, of course, because we had the release of Omens of Destruction, I thought I'd come back, check that out, and jump back into some more modding. I've really got to... Oh, excuse me. I've really got to become more consistent like I was back when I released the Hammer of Grugni. When I worked on that, I worked on it solidly for, I think it was 3 months, or maybe even 3.5. I just worked on it solidly with no interruptions. But with this one, with Warhammer 3, I've just been so distracted, been going back and forth, and sometimes, I kind of forget what I was doing. So, hopefully that's not going to impact the final version. I shall certainly try my best not to let it do so. Alright, so let's have a look, see if this icon works, if it balances out okay. So I want it to kind of be the same, but the opposite of what's on the other end. I think that's about the same height. Let's increase the size of this a moment. Rulers. Where are my rulers? There we go. And let's pull down a ruler. No, that's the wrong one. I want to do that. Yeah, that looks the same to me. Alright, cool. So that's the new icon for the faction that owns the spawning pool at the current time. I think it looks okay there. Let's change it out for the Sotek one and see how that one looks. Let's move that across and then hide the other one. Yeah, I think that works. So even though you'll be able to see the icons underneath the individual tablets, they're quite small. They're about the size. The icons are about the size of the plus icon here. So it'll be nice to have this larger one, so the player doesn't have to strain and count how many tablets, so they can see straight off the bat who's got what. So I'm happy with how that looks. Let's just save that off. Okay. Do we want to put that in screen? What coordinates would that be at? Let's try and add that into the game. Alright, so the coordinates are going to be... It's got a bit of a gap, so roughly about there. So let's zoom in and see what we're looking at on the x-axis. That's not in centimeters. I need it in centimeters. I'm sorry, I need it in pixels, not centimeters. Ruler settings. Where are my ruler settings? Oh, of course. Another side effect of the computer screwing itself up the other week. Preferences, where are they? Here we go. Units and rulers. I want it in pixels, please. Okay. So we're looking at 368 on the x-axis. Where's a pen? Pen. 368 on the X, and on the Y, what are we looking at? On the Y axis, there's a bit of a gap, so 200, oh sorry, not 200, my eyesight's getting really bad, 732 for, say 730. Yeah, we'll go 730 on the Y. Okay. Let's try and put that in the game, and then I'll worry about making all the other icons afterwards. So I'm going to want to go into here And let's go to skins, culture, lizardmen, components. We're going to need a new section. So let's create a folder and we'll call that, what should we call that? Let's call it spawn pool owners. Okay. Then let's bring in those two files. So we are looking at modding Warhammer 3 in progress, Lizardman, spawning pools, owning factions, and I want all three. Okay. Yeah, look okay in there. All right. So now we want to add that into the template. So let's do some XML editing. So the spawning pools window. So this is the new way that CA have chosen to do their UI windows. It's no longer the... I think it used to be a hexadecimal file or binary file, which is why we had to use the UI framework mod. Why I had to use that for my previous mods in Warhammer 2, but don't need that at all now in Warhammer 3 because I can do this using XML. It's something I can understand, and with a little bit of practice, it's something you can quite easily edit. You just got to be careful about making sure that the GUIDs you use are unique. So to that end, I'm going to need to open up a GUID generator on one of my other screens. So I'm going to need some new GUIDs. How many do I want? Let's say I need 20. Don't need that many, but doesn't hurt. Okay, all right. Let's just jump back to the... Okay. So where do we want to place it? Where is the timer? Spawning pool timer. Here we go. We'll put it down here. So we'll call this spawning pool owner, and this is equal to, we'll just leave that empty for the moment. And now we want to go down to wherever we were dealing with this, which is probably going to be somewhere near the top. Spawning pool socket 3, so it's after the sockets. Spawning pool tablet 5. Yeah, I think it's still after those. Tablet 7. Geometric gem. There we go. So I want to put it in here. And it's basically an image in very much the same manner as the spawning pool timer is. Yes, because the spawning pool timer, yep, is just a background image with the text which gets added later. So cut and paste that, make things easier. Change this so it becomes spawning pool. What did I call it? Faction or owner? I think it was owner. Yep, owner. Here we go. And then we need to change this one as well. And we also need to change the end tag. Otherwise it's going to throw a hissy fit and not load. Okay, so the offset. Now, what did I say? I said it was 368 on the x-axis by 730 on the y, but actually it's going to be the same as the other one on the y. So why is that 800 when I measured it as 730? Why would that be? That will be because of the frame, the UI frame with the header of the screen. when that gets added in, that adds about an extra 60 or 70 pixels, which means I'm going to need to move the one on the left as well. Let's jump back and just remeasure. Where is the one over here? If I get that, it's at 1150. If we go back in here, looking at the X is 1186. So I'd say it's adding about 50. So still 368. Let's try 388. Let's just add 20 for the moment and see what we get. Okay, now we need to go through and replace all these GUIDs. Otherwise, once again, it will complain because it'll have duplicate GUIDs pointing to different objects. So let's get rid of all these ones. Oh, no, don't want to get rid of that. We need to get rid of that one as well. Now, the image path is components, and it's not digits. It's going to be components, get rid of that, spawn underscore pool underscore owners, and then we are looking at, as a default, it's faction owner none. Okay. We then need to change these GUIDs as well. We can leave the width and height and all that the same, I think. Actually, no. Oh, no, I cannot leave those the same because the number is not the same size as this frame. What is the size of it? Image size. It is 92 across by 76 high. Okay, 92 by 76. So let's change that. 92, 76. And we also need to change it here. 92 by 76. And then also change it here by getting rid of the GUIDs again. And then we'll insert our own newly generated GUIDs in a moment. But I think everything else stays the same. Don't want to allow resize. Localized tooltip. Top left, based on the X and Y coordinates. Yep, okay. So let's get ourselves a new GUID. And we will take that one. Okay, so the new GUID is going to be this, and that applies to that field. It also applies to the unique ID, and it also applies to what we had at the very top. Where was it? There it is. So if we look at the image one next to it, when we go back down to where we were working, which I think was down here. So when we look at here, available tablets panel, it should be used in 3 places. This, unique GUID, and at the very top. So if I select this ever so carefully, here and here and the very top. Alright, that's good. Now we need our next GUID, which is for the image component. So we go into, actually no, sorry, the next one, I tell a lie, is the state. So the current state and the default state, of course, start off the same. And then we go into this, and we've only got one state on this image, so it's a nice straightforward one. So that key also matches the unique GUID. So in this case, this GUID that I've just pasted in should be used in 4 places. And then we have 4 places. Okay. So we need one more GUID. We'll grab that from the GUID generator. Okay, and this one is for the image component. So this gets used in 3 places, if I remember correctly. It gets used on that and the unique GUID, and then it also gets used... Oh no, I'm wrong. 4 places. Oh no, actually no. I tell a lie. It was 3 places. I need to go and get another GUID, because that's the component image. That's the one I need to paste that into. So that should be used in 3 places. Yep, and then we need a new GUID for that. That's right. One more GUID than I thought. So let's paste that in and put that in here, and that's only used in 2 places. I can tell you it was an awful lot of fun creating the XML for these screens. As you can see, they're pretty long, about 7,000 lines of XML code per screen. It's an awful lot of fun going through and making sure all the GUIDs match up as you're putting them in. Caused a few headaches in the beginning, I'll admit. But it's something you kind of get used to. Okay, so that should put our image somewhere on the screen around the right coordinates. It won't be exactly right. We've got to tinker with that as we run the game. But that should be kind of in a good position. So I don't want to change any other code at the moment. Although I might actually change it so we see one of the actual faction ones. So let's change it to the Avengers one, just so we get a better idea when it's first going in. Okay, so we've got that in place. I don't need to change any code for that, so let's just uninstall and reinstall it to the Warhammer directory, and then let's try running the game. Let's see what we get. See if we crash, or see if we actually get to see the screen. Hellforger, wow, 7,000 lines of code. That's impressive, not gonna lie. Yeah, there's a lot of images on the screens, and some of the images have a lot of states, so it all adds up when you're adding in all of those GUIDs. Will this stream be available as a VOD? Which should, yeah, when it's finished streaming, it should just be available on the web on my site. Yeah, I think it's a very nice tutorial on modding the UI. Yeah, what I should really do is I should get off my backside and create some basic ones again. Maybe just have an ongoing project that I do, I don't know, perhaps every once a week is too often, maybe once a fortnight. We go through the process of creating a new screen, just a relatively basic screen. We go through the process of creating the UI and creating the XML and then creating the Lua for it. Actually, that's something I might jot down the idea for. Yeah, and then I can have it. I can endeavour. I'll say that I shall endeavour to then have it at the same time every week. So I'd probably put a poll out to see what time that would be that most people would be interested in seeing it. You know, that sort of thing. Because if people want to, get into modding the UI, I can understand at first when you first look at those files, it can be extremely intimidating, and it's very easy to take a misstep and stuff something up and then not realize what it was that went wrong. And I can say that because I did that several times. Yeah, when working with those XMLs at first, I wasn't sure what I needed to use, what lines I could take out and leave in, because the game files by CA have a whole lot more information in those little XML structures. So for instance, while I can get away with an image being this size, the game files, you might find an image that doesn't change, might be 4 times as much code. because it's got all these extra generated properties. So I think that I'm pretty certain, I don't know for sure, but I'm pretty certain that Creative Assembly are not having people going in and coding the XML directly, at least not at first. I'm sure they'll have some sort of user interface that lets them make the screen and then save it to an XML. And then maybe they go in and tweak one or two things. Because there's so many extra properties that don't seem relevant to a lot of the objects that they're putting on the screen. That's what makes me think that it's being auto-generated by a third system. Alright, so back into the game. We need to go to the mod manager. And I need to remember to activate my mod, otherwise I'm not going to see anything. So let's go down here. And let's try running this and see if I broke something this morning, because I haven't actually tried running this since I changed some code this morning. And, you know, it's always nice to see things on the fly break. It's a programmer's life. I remember when I was doing this for a living several times, you know, showing off code that me and the team had worked perfectly, flawlessly when we were working on it. And then you're in front of the client and you show them something and it breaks. My God, I hated those days. Those meetings then, when that took place. Let's go a new campaign for Mr.
Summon the Elector Count!
Right, so is the mod working? If the mod's working, we're going to see... no. Where is it? There should be some text. There we go. So on the race, I can't actually point to it. So over on the corner there, you've got the lizard men and the two different icons, and it's got a description. So I've added in the description there for Medallion of Chaqua, so I can just see if it was working. It was loading the mod. So the mod is loaded. Hillforger, I'd assume so. It's pretty standard practice to have an in-house editor with a nice UI that allow game designers with not the highest tech background to be able to create stuff. Yeah, we used to have, the companies I worked for, we used to have UI editors that would create certain stuff, and then so people wouldn't have to go in and mess around with the code itself. Yeah, it was for more for the kind of marketing people to use that sort of thing. Damn, the game sound is super loud. Oh, sorry. Sorry, I hope I didn't blow out anybody's eardrums. I shall change the sound settings and turn it right down. I didn't even think of that, I'm sorry. Let's go into the settings and change that velocity. Not only am I going blind, I'm going deaf. Sound. Master volume. Okay, hopefully that's better. Okay, we got past the first step. The mod itself is loaded in, and we have the UI, so I haven't broken anything yet. So what was it on? It was on the, that's right, it's on the screen, the spawning screen. Well, there we go. Oh, that's not too bad actually for a first try. I'm not that far away. Yeah, not too far away at all. So let's open up the handy context viewer, and then go to that object and have a look at what its location is, and then try tweaking it a little bit. Spawning pool. Panel frame. Yes, panel frame. Hello, Bashir. Can I help you? Yeah, if you're looking for a treat, it's a little bit early in the day. There we go. Alright, spawning pool owner. Right, you just want to rub against my shoulder, is that it? No. Alright, see ya. I need to go down to the properties and have a look at its location. Vector 4 position. Which one was it? Is it absolute position? So is that the absolute position? I can't remember if that... Yeah, that's the absolute position, okay. So that's the one I need to pay attention to. So 863 by 1046. And what did I have in the code? So let's just look at that again. 863 by 1046. Hang on, no, that can't be right. Oh, absolute position is the entire screen, which includes the background. So I don't want that part. I don't need that bit. I want the relative position. 388 by 800. There we go. 388 by 800 is what it's currently got. So we need to tweak that. I think the command is set relative position. Is it set relative or set to relative? Reach the end of the expression while the rule is I can't remember what the command is now. Set relative position. That's about, let's say that's about 7 pixels too fast. Let's say 8 pixels too far, so let's go 380. Hang on, it's a vector. I need to create a new vector. 2 vector. 380. Can't even remember if this command is correct, but we'll find out soon enough. And the Y position, we are probably... Instead of guessing, let's just have a look at what the one underneath is. Oh no, that's because that's... Okay. We are probably 26, 27 pixels away there. So what did we put in? We've got 800, so let's make that 774. Invalid. Failed to find function name set relative position. Might be set to relative. Nope. Okay. I know there's a function that does this. There we go. Oh no, that's picking it up. What's the name of that bloody function? Should have written it down. Is it update? Or is it force? No, okay. Okay, never mind then. What did I say? 380 by 774. 380 by 774. Let's have a look. I'm just going to quickly search for what that command is. 3. What do we got? Hopefully somebody has it somewhere. Oh, what's that thing called? Warhammer 3 context viewer. Viewer set position. Come on. Tutorial context viewer. Why do I so easily forget these things? Oh, okay. That doesn't have what I need. Console commands modding tool. Maybe it's that one. Come on. Okay. What have we got? What have we got? Two pool. Nope. None of that's about the actual positions. Okay. I cannot remember what that is. Let's try it again. Oh, there's no point doing it without the screen up. Alright, smaller pool. There must have been some text about updating it. Oh, there's a list of functions. Move to relative. That's what I meant. Move to relative. I knew it was there somewhere. Move to relative. 2 vector. And what did I say? I said that was about 8 too much. So that's going to become 380 on the x-axis. And 775 on the y-axis. Oh, that's very close. That's very close. I think we're maybe 2 pixels over. This is such a... This tool is so helpful in nutting out the exact positions of things on the UI. Because previously, Warhammer 2 used to have to go out, tweak it a little bit in Photoshop, bring that image into the into RFP, into the editor, then save it, then run the game again. It was just all of that just for a little tweak. But now I can see it tweaked in real time. And there we go, that's the new number we need. 378 by 775. 378, 775. So we were 10 pixels off to start with. 378. We were 25 off there. 775. Okay. Let's exit that now. So that's in place. So I think... What do you think? Does that balance out okay? Is it too much? Maybe? Too bright, perhaps? Think it fits? Cool. Actually, I think it needs... There's a slight tweak. I just noticed something. It's funny, I didn't notice the height of this. What I noticed is the leaf here is lower than the leaf there. It needs to go up. 1 pixel, maybe 2. So let's... what was it? Move to relative. Move to relative to vector. Oh, hang on. It helps if I actually don't try changing the UI of the actual game itself. I wanna change my objects, not other stuff. Where was the relative position again? There we go. Move to relative to vector, and then it's 378 because the X is okay. I think the Y needs to be changed to 774. It's a small change, but yep, small change, but it is noticeable. Alright, that's it. Let's just quickly update the code so I don't forget. 774. I'll save that off. Alright. Now let's see if we can actually get a Lizardman faction to own that spawning pool. So I'll just have to play through a couple of turns. I'm just not going to worry about playing well. Just going to auto-resolve everything just so I can see what's happening. So we got our first spawn tablets.
The acquisition of lands.
Yes, I know about the acquisition of lands. Thank you very much. I need to remember to turn the tutorial dude off. Okay, so we've got our first spawning tablet, and we picked up the tablet of Swiftfoot. So that's movement speed. So let's put that into a spawning pool. So what spawning pool do we want to give it to? Can't do it. Oh, let's just do the first one. Spawn of the Sun. So this is the one that's situated at Hexoatl, because Hexoatl in lore is called the City of the Sun, if I remember correctly. So Spawn of the Sun. Oh, hang on. There's no point seeing if this isn't going to change because I haven't put the lure in place for it to change. But let's just play through and see if a couple of turns, see if the UI fills in. So I'm going to use my movement speed plus 10%, and I'm going to put that tablet in there. So you can see I own that tablet, and at the moment I'm the only one who has a claim on that spawning pool. So if we just look at the spawning pool here, you can see there, Spawn of the Sun, the region of Hexoatl, is now down to 6 empty slots, and the stay is inactive, and that's because they are not activated until there are 7 slots. Now you might notice that there are a couple there, the Spawn of the Turtle, the Tower, and the Eternal City, that are red, and they say captured. That's because it's not a Lizardman faction that owns that settlement. I'm still umming and ahhing, up in the air about whether or not I want to keep that in place, because what can happen is if if one of the AI has taken one of those and you've invested tablets into it, and you might have put enough to actually control it. If the AI next to it then loses that settlement, you lose control of the spawning pool. So I might change it so it can start off captured, but once any Lizardman faction has owned it, then it stays available. I think that might be the compromise there. Yeah, so right, so I've got one on that spawning pool, and I should pick up another one here. So I've currently got the chances of gaining them to 100%, just so I can test easily. I'm going to lose 2 units then. Okay. So I'm going to occupy, and that's going to give us our first piece of the medallion as well. Aren't we lucky? So there we go. There's our first medallion fragment. So, and there's our second spawning tablet. And there's just some other normal things. So if we look here, we've got one fragment claimed. And if we open the screen, there she is. Now, I still haven't done the effects for this. To be honest, I'm still figuring out exactly what effects to give to what races. Factions. It's a big list, so it might take a while. Now we should see that this is updated again. Yes, this time we got the Tablet of Dragonhide. So, Tablet of Dragonhide is fire resistance, I think. And this screen here, we should have been updated. So, we have captured the Fallen Gates fragment, and then we've now been told there are two fragments. One in the Shrine of Sotek, and one in the Ziggurat of Dawn. And if we scroll down, we should actually see an indication. There we go. So you can see the beam of light there at the Ziggurat of Dawn. Should also have one, yep, at the Shrine of Sotek. Just to give the player an indication that, ooh, there's something there. I wonder what that could be. Alright, so we've got that tablet. I'm not going to put the tablet in the socket this turn. I'm going to see if the AI can actually put any in any sockets. Hopefully the change I made this morning isn't going to break the code here, because it'll be running through that section of code I changed. So let's see what happens. Fingers crossed. It's taking a while to process. Why is that? Why is that taking so long? You know what? I think it's running the fragment of code that I added this morning in. It's running it on every... it's running it for every faction's turn. Not just Lizardman faction. Or rather, sorry, not just my Lizardman's faction. Damn it. Because that's taking way longer than it should. I've probably gone and given the Lizardman factions that were too passive, I've probably given them about 50 or 60 tablets each. Alright, let's see what happened with the spawning pools. Alright, yeah, way too many have gone. So we got the spawn of the sun. We can see it's claimed one, and they've put in physical resistance. Sentinels of Zeti have claimed one, and they've put in ammo. The Southern Sentinels have put in barrier hit points on that one. Alright, so that's almost, almost claimed. Spawn on the Moon, that one's almost claimed as well. But it looks like maybe the code I put in this morning is working, but I might just have to tweak it a little bit. So, because I think it was running for everything there. But at least the factions are getting tablets, and they're using those tablets. Now you might wonder, why didn't they use it on this? It's because that one's captured, and you can't add tablets to a captured spawning pool. But that one's okay. They've added tablets in there. That's okay. Okay. And looks like they don't like the spawn of the Sentinels. But Talaxtalan liked it. They added in the Tablet of Strength. Okay, so if I run another... Let's just quickly look at the code. See if I can spot what I did wrong. Because that turn end did take a little bit too long. So let's go down to the new code I added. What was it? I think it was down here. Slot faction tablets into spawning pools. No, that's not it. Update only faction spawning pool. No. I went too far down. Get random tablet for faction. Get random spawning pool. Add tablet to Lizardman factions. It's right by here. Here we go. So gift tablets to passive Lizardman factions. So we're going through every Lizardman faction in our list which have the passive flag, and there are about, I don't know, 10 of them. So 10 passive factions. We are then calling this function add tablet to Lizardman faction tablets collection. Alright, let's have a look at the actual debug for that. Warhammer 3. So let's have a look at my log file. So I've spit all this out to a log file. Let's have a look and see what happened on that turn. So we'll go to the end, but we want to go back to the end of turn, and we're looking for. Alright, this is too late. This is where they're putting the sockets. This is where they're targeting the pools to put items in the sockets. We want to go back to before that. Here we go. So at the start of this bit where it's talking about spawning tablets. Yeah, there's way too many. Way too many. Still going, still going, still going. And I'm seeing the same ones cropping up more than once. Yep. So it's happening. This is getting called for every faction. Because this is getting called for every faction. And that's happening in here on the turn end. So we need to go in here. And I need to make sure that this is only triggering once. But why did it trigger? It should have a context check here, right? Faction turn end. Return. I'm not doing a check to make sure it's Local faction is player controlled. That should have been coming up false on all of them except for my playable faction. Interesting. I don't know why that's getting hit multiple times, because this flag should only be true once. Update spawning pool owners for dead factions. Update spawning cycle timers. Update. Ah, damn! This explains a bug I saw this morning, which I didn't look into yet. If this is being called multiple times, because I was noticing cycle times were jumping ahead further than they should. I'm gonna have to go and add something in here. If was it context.faction? Oh no, I won't have access to that here. Darn it, darn it, darn it. I will have access to it up here though. We need to here. No, that's battle completed. Wrong one. This one, faction turn end. I need to add in just something that checks to make sure it's only happening for the player's faction. Otherwise, we're going to end up with way too much stuff. That use the comma. We get rid of the comma on that. We're calling that function now. We need to check if context faction, and then that will be is human. go. And then if that's true, then we call that. And that way it's not going to be called 200 times instead of just the once. Let's close that down. That's a big enough change that I want to see it working. Pack file, save pack file, uninstall, reinstall, and let's try that again. See what we get. What time is it? 3:30. Okay. Excuse me. I'm getting thirsty from all this talking. Now I'm burping. Alrighty, let's see. Let's select a different Lissaman Lord this time. Oh, hang on. Load. I don't want it to continue his campaign. Let's get rid of that. Otherwise, I'm going to end up with dozens of those. Campaign. New campaign.
Sigma's will.
Lizardman. Let's go to Tic-Tac-Toe. Let's start his campaign. Okie dokie. Okie dokie dokie dokie. I don't know whether you can hear my PC in the background there working away. Fans are starting to get loud. It's almost like I need a new PC or something. Right, here we go. Come on, calm down, PC. Ah, Bashir, you're back. How are you, girl? Okay. Alright, so we've got Tic-Tac-Toe this time. What about against this guy? Close victory. Down replenishment. No, he's got his first tablet.
The acquisition of lands.
Remember to turn you off. Don't worry about getting signaling the spawning pool yet. Let's take this settlement. And those units, but yeah, whatever. So we claimed our first fragment. There it is. And our second tablet. So what did we get? We've ended up with Tablet of Parrying. I believe that's melee defense. Tablet of Gold, that's upkeep reduction. And we've got a first Medallion fragment. And we can see that that's been claimed. And now we've found one in Nahuatl. Let's just make sure that that's showing on the screen. Where is that? Ooh, it's a bit of a walk. Oh well. We want all the factions to play a little bit differently. Let's go into the spawning pools. And let's put in the melee defense one. And also put in the upkeep reduction. So, am I right? Melee defense plus 4. Upkeep reduction plus 5%. Okay. Now let's let the AI have their turn, and see what they do this time. So hopefully this turn. That's much better. So it's not calling it all the time now. That's one step in the right direction. Okay. Let's see what happened with the spawning pools. Oh wow, Hexawatl was popular. That's had so many put in there, it's active now. Talaxtalan has got 3 remaining slots. First city with 4 remaining, so a lot did happen. So let's have a look exactly. Alright, so I've got 2. Cult of Sotek has 1. Hexoatl has 1. Sentinels of Zeti have 1. Tepok Spawn has 1. And Talaxtalan has 1. So in this case, if the code was in place for, determining the faction owner, well, it's in the background, but it's not showing on the UI yet. So if this was hooked up to that code, it would have my icon because I own that spawning pool because I have the most tablets. Cool. Alright, well, it's nice to see that the AI is actually putting tablets in place. I guess the only thing though is they pick a tablet at random from those that they have. So at the moment they're putting a tablet in every turn that they can, and of course they're getting tablets every turn, just so I can see these things filling up and see what happens. In the game itself, I've got to figure out what the right percentages are for how often they'll receive a tablet and how often they will then try to socket that tablet. I don't know whether I'm going to need rules in place or not about how intelligent the AI is about what they try to socket. So I might need to put in some filters, like maybe they don't try and socket a tablet that adds missile range or missile damage if none of the units that can spawn from that spawn pool have missile range or missile damage. So that might be one filter I need to add in. Might need to try and make them semi-intelligent about if they see a really good tablet has been added to one of the spawning pools. Like if they see, I don't know if any of the really good ones are here. There's barrier replenishment rate, physical resistance, magical resistance. So maybe this one. So this would be a good candidate. So might need to make them a bit smarter that if they have a barrier replenishment rate tablet, but nobody has yet socketed a barrier tablet, don't try and add your replenishment tablet, because it's kind of useless if the units haven't been given barrier beforehand. And maybe another filter in place so that if it sees that somebody's got put barrier there already and you've got barrier, the most effective use of that barrier would be to add it into that spawning pool as well. So you can try and not only buff the amount of barrier that those units are going to get, but also try and claim that that spawning pool. Because whilst the little factions like Sentinels of Zeti and Tepok Spawn die quickly, and they should not get to the point where they own a spawning pool, unless by some miracle they manage to kill off a major faction and then confederate another Lizardman faction, in which case they might theoretically get control of a spawning pool. But 99% of the time you're going to see the big factions. So Hexoatl, Cult of Sotek, it's Defenders of the Great Plan, is it? No, that's not one of them. The other 4 ones, whatever the hell they are. You should only ever see those getting it. And if the AI has captured it, they will get the units. Whether they recruit those units or not is something I don't know. I'll be putting them into the resource pool of units for them. If they recruit them, well, that's not in my hands. Alright, so the next step then is to hook this up so it actually shows the correct icon. And let's just have a look how the others went. That one's right because it hasn't been fully activated yet. Nobody can slot in there. It looks like no factions decided to put their tablets in the same one twice. So maybe I need something in there as well so there's more of a bias of them trying to put their second tablet and third tablet into one that they've already socketed a tablet into. But you don't want it to be, you don't want them to be able to do that so often that they'll always win those spawning pools, you know. It's going to be a delicate balance, this. It's going to take me a lot of play testing to get this right, to get it to feel right, because you don't want it to feel that the AI is too passive and doesn't try to take them, and you don't want it to feel like you never get a chance to take more than one. Yeah, Hellforge, that's what I was thinking. Have a couple of extra weighted filters, and one of them weighted filter for them to see what have I put my socket into, or what have I put my tablet into already, and drift towards that one, as it were. Alright, let's see what they do on the next turn. I'm not going to do anything, I'll just sit here. Let's let the Lizardman factions battle amongst themselves. See what they do with their spawning pools. Now, in this case, we might notice that the minor factions actually start to get more tablets, because the bigger factions are only getting them from winning battles. The minor factions are currently getting them every turn for free. So let's have a look. How many free spawning pools are there? There's only one free now. We've got 3 active. Okay. Spawning pool of the Sentinels. Okay, well, in this case, we've got one of the minor factions, Slatlan. They've put 2 in there. And we've got 2 weapon strengths, so that's not bad. Bonus versus large for skinks. Not exactly the best use of that tablet, but I think I'm definitely going to need to add some filters of some sort, based on what units are there. I mean, the physical resistance for the skinks is okay, but there's better uses of the tablet, because you try to keep these guys out of combat, don't you? So, you know. And the same for the weapon strengths. So it's basically all 4 of these tablets are not tablets you would ideally put into these. And you'd only put them there if it's the only socket, if it's the only one you had. So have a look at the other spawning pools. So that one was already set, and that hasn't changed, which is good. So none of the tablets got overridden. It's nice to see. Alright, so this is the spawn of the moon. Where is this one? I think this is in... Spawn of the moon, is that Itza? No, Itza's the first city. Spawn of the moon. I think it might be Talaxtalan. I'm not certain. What have we got in this one? Armor. Okay, yeah, armor's a decent one. Armor piercing. Yeah, okay, I can see how that could be useful for the birds. Charge bonus. Okay, movement speed, yeah, that's certainly helpful for them. Then we've got 2 lots of melee attack. And missile resistance, which is useful for them. So, kind of a mixed bag there, but better than the last spawning pool we looked at, that's for sure. That one's closed off because it's not under Lizardman control. What have we got this time? Alright, so once again, another small faction took it, because they had 2. So what have we got? Movement speed? Yeah, movement speed's good. Missile strength, there we go. So this is a classic example. Oh, excuse me. I think I just inhaled a cat hair. Oh, bollocks. It's a classic example here of why I'm going to need those filters, because it's not going to feel good if you go to put a tablet into a spawning pool where the AI has put in 2 missile strength tablets, but none of the units have missile fire. You kind of feel like you've been gypped out of some, you know, out of some utility there. What have we got here? Bonus versus infantry, okay. That one's Good one, especially for Crocs, of course. Weapon strength, good again for all three. Charge bonus, yeah, good. And another bonus versus infantry. Alright, so, yeah, so on the whole, that's okay. It's just, that really throws it off. Let's just have a look at that last one, which is the Spawn of the Sentinels. So this one's still being battled for, but it looks like the minor factions, Lapland is going to take it. Who took that one? Oh, nobody took it. There was a tie. Oh no, sorry, Itza. Itza took it. Alright, so one of the main factions got that one. So there's 3 slots left on that Sentinels one. Let's just go to that page. End the turn. And let the AI fight out for it and just see what they do with it. Probably going to see that Zlatslan, if that's how you pronounce it, has that one. And that's one of the major factions, 1-2 battles. Yeah, they went out with it because it was minor factions. Although Oxyodal's not exactly minor. But what do we get? Missile strength. So, okay, it's useful in this case because we got 2 missile units. Here we go again. Barrier replenishment rate added, but no barrier. Because the barrier is a rare one. I think I've got that one set to rare as well. Then we've got missile ammo, which in this case is a pretty decent one. Okay. Well, some work to do there, but the basics are in place. I mean, you can see that the AI is doing something. So this is the first time I've actually done any modding where the AI is actually actively trying to compete with the player and use the mechanics. In the Warhammer 2 mods I just left the AI out of it completely. But I thought this sort of scenario it could be interesting to fight against the AI for control of the spawning pools. There's an idea. Just had a thought about the spawning pools. Once you've got the most tablets and you own that spawning pool, right? Nobody can put any more tablets into there, and you can't overwrite the tablets. So effectively, you own that spawning pool for the rest of the game. But I'm just wondering now, at the end of every spawning cycle, which is here, should I have some of, if not all, of the tablets get wiped out, so you've then got to battle with them again, or is that just annoying? No, I know what I can do. Any dead factions will remove their tablets. Yeah, that might work. So at the end of the spawning cycle, say the Sentinels of Zeti and the Wardens of the Living Pools are dead, then we would remove their tablets, and then they would be open for you and the remaining AI factions to try and take. That's something I'll consider, something I might put in there, because I've just been thinking about it a little bit. But once you fill these in on all 7 spawning pools, your tablets that you collect kind of become pointless. They just start accumulating, doing nothing, because you can't override ones that are already there. But if, as factions die, you can battle out with the remaining factions for control of that pool again, I think that's a decent use of any ones that might have piled up. The thing there is, though, I might have to put a limit on the number a player can put into a spawning pool on one turn. Otherwise, you might have 4 tablets and put them all in and you own the pool. But then, is that a bad thing? No, that is a bad thing, because the AI is not getting a chance then. Well, lots to think about. Lots to think about. What time is it? 3:42. Okay, let's... Oh, there's one other thing I wanted to check. Is this timer changing for spawning pools that have been active for more than one turn? Yes, it's going down. Oh, that needs to be pushed up a little bit, but... Good, that's counted down as well. And the tier hasn't changed, that stayed at tier 1. Alright, what I'm going to do is, I don't know if this is going to crash the game or not, because I've never actually taken it to the point where one of these spawning pools has finished a spawning cycle. But I'm going to go through the next 7 turns, quickly, and see what happens. See if we crash the Lua scripts, or if the tier gets updated to the next tier, which is what's meant to happen. So, hopefully this won't take too long. No, just watching the end turn go by isn't exactly fascinating. Is it? Oh no, it hasn't selected what it's going to spawn yet. So, it also chooses at the end of the spawning pool... sorry. At the end of the spawning sequence, it decides what it's going to do for the next sequence. And I can see that I've forgotten to put in the code to actually get it to decide for the first sequence. That's going to be interesting. Hello, Litapus. How you going? What do you want? Yeah, it's getting closer to time for a treat, I know. But not quite yet. Not quite. I wonder if any of the lizardmen have actually got off their backsides and captured any of the settlements that were in the hands of other races. Nope, they're all still in the hands of enemy factions, as it were. Okay. Let's keep going. I think we're on 4 turns remaining. Looks like... Who is that there? Oh, that's, oh, what's his face? Wurzag. That's right, he's changed position, hasn't he? Thinking, how the hell did he get down there? Okay. Oh, we're down to 4 turns now on Spawn of the Moon. I think Spawn of the Sun was the first one. Yes, that's down to 3. Alright, let's keep going. Yes, I know, Puss, I know. I won't be long, okay? I won't be long. You can have it, whereas I don't care. You take it. Just leave me alive for 3 more turns. Geez, Wurzag is pretty aggressive. Now look at that, he's got 2 armies and he's on me in turn 8. It's going to be a bit of an interesting campaign for Tic-Tac-Toe now with him there. Especially since you're venturing into his territory now to claim some of the medallion fragments. Alright, so we should be down to 2, okay. Got a feeling it's probably gonna hit an error in the lure. In which case we'll get a big cross by here saying that the lure script is broken. But we'll see what happens. Hopefully Wurzag leaves me alone long enough for me to find out what happens. It's going to be pretty annoying if he comes and kills me before I can see what's happening. So this should be down to 1 turn. Is there any active? Anyone's still all that's captured? Alright, 1 turn. Okay, let's see what happens if he lets me live Just lay siege, buddy. Lay siege. Bollocks. One turn. Just the end of this turn. That's all I needed to see. Because I don't have any other. I don't have any other settlements. Darn it. One turn. That's it. I officially hate the change of Wurzag to that area. Completely stuffed that up. Let's delete these. I think multiple delete. Yes, good. Alright, let's get out of there. Let's get out of there. And close that down. Alright. So, several things to make note of. So let's go to the end of the... That's the wrong script. Let's go to the end of the spawning pool script. And add some more to-dos. To-do. To-do. Let's see. Add... No, not filters. Weighted what? I'm just going to say weighted function to encourage. What does it mean? Factions to place their tablets in the same spawning pool when not full. Okay, that's one thing. Another thing was add filters to prevent AI factions. I'm not going to stop the... If the player wants to be stupid and put a missile, 10% missile damage onto a spawning pool where nobody shoots missiles, that's on the player. That's their fault. But got to stop the AI from doing that at least. So add filters to prevent the AI from placing tablets in stupid places. E.G. No missile tablets for non-missile units. No barrier replenish if no barrier, etc. Oh, hang on, what was all that? I just wanted that, thank you. And what else to do? Since my list is getting longer and longer. Add... What was the other one? Filter to... Well, not so much filter. Functions to encourage. AI to... I guess buff tablets that have already been socketed by other factions. E.G. Barrier is a good example of that one. Get rid of that. Yeah, I'm not going to be very long, leader. Just give me 5 minutes, please. Right, what else? Oh, I need to hook up that code. Hook up code for owning faction. when all tablets... Oh no. All tablet sockets have been filled. And then there's another one to do. What was I thinking about? Possible addition / change. When factions die, reopen their... When factions die, reopen their tablets for the player and other living AI factions to refill. Note, this would have to... Oh no, hang on. Gonna need that. Note, this would have to take place after the current spawning cycle has finished, so we don't break the bonuses for the cycle in progress. Okay, I think that's everything I talked about. Is there anything else we noticed? Anything else? Oh, yes, there is. Have I got this one down already? No, I don't. To do, I noticed it wasn't selecting which tablets had to be used, because the spawning pools, as well. Once you've got your 7 tablets in place, the spawning sequence starts. But it starts at tier 1, and the tier 1 spawning sequence only uses 3 tablets of those that have been placed. It picks 3 tablets at random, and then those get used. When that spawning cycle is finished, it jumps up to tier 2, and then for tier 2, it adds another 1 tablet at random. So you get 4 tablets at tier 2, 5 at tier 3, and so on up to tier 5. And it wasn't doing that. So to do ensure tablet highlights, because it wasn't highlighting the thing. Ensure tablet highlights are in place for... No, that's not how you spell place. For tablets selected in a spawning sequence. Oh, and there was one other one, and it was a fix. What was it? What's the word? Bug, that's it. What was the bug? Oh, damn, I had it on the tip of my tongue. Damn it, it's escaped me. I was reminded when I was writing out the previous one. Ensure tablet highlights are in place for tablets selected in spawning sequence. Oh, yes. First spawning sequence is not picking up random tablets to use and the random units to produce. Okay, alright, I think that's given me more work. And then the last thing to do, finish new UI elements for spawning pool owners. Spawning pool owner, yep. Alright, I am going to have to end it there. I've got a few things I've got to do this afternoon. But thank you to anybody who dropped by. Thank you to those who chatted. So Thank you, Fernie. Thank you, Sin. And thank you, Hellforger. It was nice chatting with you. I hope you all have a great day, or evening, or night, whichever the case may be. And if you are no longer here, then I hope you enjoyed what you saw. I'll look into doing this more often. Now that Satisfactory is out of the way, I should be doing more programming. So we'll see when I'm online next, and I'll have a good think about maybe trying to come up with a tutorial, a UI tutorial that I could work through over a couple of weeks, months, which we might be able to put in as live streams. But anyway, thank you very much, everybody who checked the stream out. If you're excited about the Medallion of Chaqua, please leave a comment. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know if you've got any ideas which might help improve it. And I'll see you. I shall see you in the next stream. Catch you later.